What's up, everybody? It's your favorite. Is that a war in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me's favorite nerd? And today we are looking at RC and Cup from DX9's War in Pocket line. I've never looked at DX9's War in Pocket line, I don't believe, so today is a first for me, and so far I'm unimpressed. But we're going to wait until we get to the end and make a clear, decisive decision about such things. Let's start with RC, and then we'll just move to the other. Accessory-wise, she comes with this stand. Really nice thought, being as though the feet are so dainty, she's difficult to pose, and you can have one foot in or both feet in to have her very, very front and center if you'd like, but then you can just really just remove one foot and kind of get all the posing that you need out of it. It's just a clear, it's plain plastic, of course they signed it, and that's fine. She also comes with a pistol, single cast, pink plastic, not a lick of paint, but she holds it just fine. Let's focus on this one. It's going to take some talking. That head sculpt, Mac. Jeez, who is? That's a tough one. That's a rough one. It kind of looks like you're... it's almost like her helmet is squeezing her face too tight, and it's... and like her face is I think it's one size too small. Or it looks like your aunt that had over extravagant hairdos in the 80s, that no one had the kind of guts to tell her that she was out of pocket, so to speak. Doesn't matter. This is what we got. It is on a swivel and a bit of a hinge, and then I guess dude, I feel like your head looks like your helmet is squishing your face. It looks very ugly. What? But don't worry about it. It's fine. So you can even move this up a bit to move it around. No problems. White paint on the chest, that looks good. We got pink face and blue paint on the face. That looks fine. It's the least of the face's problems anyway. The arms are on a ball peg, as we've kind of come to expect, but the range of motion is much better than the Iron Factory one. Gets it up to 90 degrees and all the way around with a coat of pink paint around the shoulder, so that's cool. No bicep swivel, but you do get the swivel at the elbow, so that works fine, especially for a figure of this size, and it gets you to 90 degrees. And once again, no wrist swivel, keeping the parts count down. I hear you, DX9. Waist, nada. Nasa, negative, nothing. Hips, T-jointed ball joints, get you out to there, actually even further, and front and back to there and there. A little gappage there in the side, but not the worst. And then we have the thigh swivel. Oh, I guess you have, so you have the one that's kind of more natural at the hip, and then you have another one at the ball peg at the knee, which gets you just shy of 90 degrees. And then this is a pink piece of plastic that's clipped on, so it's not paint. We do get a little bit of paint on the knees, and then for the ankles, they are on ball pegs as well, and you pretty much get the ankle tilt forward, back, and the slightest bit of a rocker. So once again, we got the aqua. I guess you get a toe tilt too if you want to count that. It's mainly for transformation. Let's get her transformed. Which is kind of a pain, and ball pegs and stuff pop off all the time, at least when I've done it. So open this up, turn her head to the back, and you kind of got to manipulate this around her head. It's not the biggest deal, but spin this up and spin her head into her stomach, and that should be fine. Then rotate the shoulders up on these little pins here, and bring the arms around so that they're just kind of, point to the sky. That's fine. That's what you want. You should have room back here. Let's see. You should have room to spin this. That's how you know where the head is at a good angle. So then you split the crotch, so to speak. You want to bring these both out to 90 degrees. Bring the legs up. You want the wheels down, and you want this port facing up. I would go ahead and collapse the toes as well, and I can't remember what's the best way to have the feet, but we'll just go like that for now. Same on this side. Once again, spin so that the thigh, so the wheel is down, spin at the knee so the port is up. And now it's just a matter of taking 2 tabs, which are inside there, and plugging them into the calves on both sides. And then you've got your little car. The car mode, I think, pulls it off much better than the Iron Factory one. And the Iron Factory bot mode pulls it off much better. There's no wheels, so it doesn't roll or anything. And I don't think you can plug the gun in anywhere that I can see. But it's fine, I think, wouldn't you say? As for Cup, his head is also it's on a swivel. So you get the round. Great head sculpt on him, conversely. That looks really good. Nice paint, nice blue paint on there. Looks nice. Silver paint on the head. Looks good. He comes with this accessory. Single cast, but he holds it well. That's a bonus. We got basically ball joints for shoulders. Get you just shy of 90 degrees. I think we should give it to him. And all the way around. Bicep swivel at the elbow ball joint. Per usual, no wrist swivel, and we got paint on the forearm that looks pretty good on both sides. Once again, no waist swivel. T-jointed ball joints for hips get you out to there, forward to there, and back to there due to these pieces. Knee is on a hinge. Well, wow, it's nice to see a hinge after all that. It gets you just shy of 90 degrees. I'm willing to give it to him if you are. And foot, you just get an ankle tilt down. Or it's not an ankle tilt, it's like a toe tilt down, and that's it. Detailing wise, you got this silver paint on the outside and inside, and that's all done fairly well. Pelvis, you have the silver and orange paint, and that looks good. And we have this turquoise paint, silver paint there. So that's all done fairly well. Now for this guy, fold the feet down, open up the chest here, which will allow you to split, theoretically, the entire figure in half. Wrap it around onto itself. Put the arms in line. And bring this down and this down. And that forms the back part of the vehicle. You can collapse the thighs. One is tighter than the other on mine, but they're both really tight. And then you take this chest piece. That got blurry, didn't it? Good grief. Hope that wasn't that way for long. Sorry. Take this chest piece, and you have to kind of spin it on this ball peg down in there. And let's see if there it is. And then you spin it around. You use that to lock into these 2 ports on both sides. Push it all together, tuck the arms down, and you got Cup's alt mode. I dig this a lot. Now, still no way to plug the gun in, at least that I can see, unless you hold it in the back of his hands, which you probably can do, especially if you put his hand in a better position. But this is cool. Wheel spin, all that. You can see the head from the bottom, but to me that's an acceptable loss. And it's okay, so it's not the most accurate Cup ever, but I think the engineering is interesting enough where all of it is forgivable. So there they both are, and you know what's coming. Tiger Tracks. Final thoughts wise, the negatives really come down to RC for the most part. Cup's negatives very short and sweet. Wrist swivels would have been nice. Ankle rockers would have been nice. Waist swivel would have been nice. RC, there's very little, if any, that I have good to say about her, other than the transformation ends up to a better looking car in the end than the Iron Factory one does, and the engineering is more involved, so it makes you feel like it's kind of more worth your money, and I get that. But for her, I mean, stuff is popping off in ball joints all the time. It's not a pretty sculpt. It's kind of messy engineering. It's just kind of bleh, you know. Cup, on the other hand, I think is kind of brilliant. Like, that's a different type of transformation. It's something we've never seen before. Like, you turn him inside out. I kind of dig that. Like, I like, you know, there's just so much that you see where it's just like, yep, this is the same as that one. I remember how they did it there. That's also how they did it here, and blah, blah, blah. But that cup, you know, flipping it inside out, like, that's something unique for me, and I dug that. The articulation is fine. The paint is fine on both, and the sculpt on cup is pretty good. As far as recommending, I really can't recommend unless you like the RC. I can recommend the cup. The problem is they come in a set, right? So unless you can kind of deal with that RC or think you can sell that RC, then in that case I can recommend it. But the cup is really cool. I really enjoyed that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.
Look, I had an idea for a skit, but nothing is going to be as funny as that. So let's just roll credits.